Hi guys, Vatsal Shah again, your host for the day for the business track. I hope you had good tea and snakes, something great to munch. Now we are back with a couple of more interesting sessions. I have Subhajit Goswami, who is a Vice President Global Business Development at InSync, and he has more of 1 year, 1 decade of experience in managing customer accounts and channel business. His specific interest of the work is retail industry, e-commerce, multi-channel and omni-channel e-commerce and retail and ERP systems. Today is going to talk about successful B2B commerce for wholesalers, distributors and manufacturers. It has been interesting talk because when you go into B2B, you may have manufacturers, then distributors, then wholesalers and retailers, and then customers. It's a long value chain, and sometimes we miss the bus by decoding the right solution. So I think Subhajit will share a lot of lights on that. Subhajit, over to you. Thanks for being with us, and I hope it will be a great session.
Yep. Thanks for the introduction, Vatsal. Good evening, everyone. So first, I just wish to share my screen. So Vatsal, can you please confirm whether it's visible? And I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, great. So good evening, everyone. I'm very much excited to be a part of Meet Magento India. I was always part of the physical event. This is the first time when we are attending it, the virtual one. I guess the experience is much more beneficial and knowledgeable, and I hope you are also feeling the same. So I'm Shubhajit from InSync Solutions, and at InSync we help a lot of B2B businesses to automate their digital adoption towards wholesaling, manufacturing, D2C, as well as in distribution. So I will share some of the best practices along with some facts and figures, which I believe it will help you uh, getting some key insights around these areas. So let's start the session. So first of all, we can divide the period of digital adoption by two areas, two clear periods. So first of all, pre-pandemic and now. So I guess everyone will agree with that. So in the pre-pandemic period before COVID-19, we have seen that the shift towards moving the B2B business process, automating it through digital platform and giving a digital experience to the B2B customers. This notion was there, we all agree, but the notion was very slow. So B2B portals or B2B e-commerce portals was like a nice to have feature. So now we all know what COVID-19 has brought up into the industries, and we are seeing a quick shift towards digital transformation. Many industry experts say that the digital transformation has been accelerated by 4 to 5 years. And I have some facts which proves this. So as you can see in the screen, first of all, we are seeing that 70 to 80% of B2B decision makers nowadays, they prefer digital self-service platform. This is one fact. The another fact, we are seeing the effectiveness of the digital platform. So we are seeing that B2B customers prefer to use digital platform for different activities. 22% B2B customers prefer to use digital platform for identifying new supplier. 22%, the similar percentage, use it to evaluate new supplier and new products. 35%, the majority of the platform wishes to place order in a digital self-service platform, the B2B buyers, and 36% repeat B2B buyers, they prefer to place reorder in the digital self-service platform, digital portal for the B2B e-commerce. So this means that adopting digital commerce opens up a new horizon to the B2B businesses when who wish to start their wholesaling and manufacturing D2C as well as distribution through a digital experience. So we'll have more facts to prove this process. So digital platform, when I say this statement that digital platform in B2B sales is a strategic priority nowadays, it's no longer a nice to have, it's a must have feature which you need to have if you are a B2B business. So there are some facts which proves my statement. We are seeing that the B2B businesses who already started their journey in the digital experience through a proper foundation, and giving a digital experience to the B2B customers. So they have a feedback that these kind of businesses say 65% of them believes that the new digital self-service platform based sales model is equally or more effective than the conventional cycle. 94% sales executives in such organizations in North America say that if they are empowered with similar kind of features and functionalities within the new digital self-service platform, then it is critical nowadays for a business advantage. So we'll dig deep and we'll move into the next segment. So we all know that adopting a digital foundation in B2B, one of the key blocker becomes, or one of the key concern of the business is average order value. Because unlike B2C, where the volume of orders are more important, in B2B, value of order, value of one order is much more important. But the facts which I am showing to you, which I'm able to find out, uh, removes this, eliminates this concern. So we are seeing that 32% B2C buyers, B2B buyers, they are willing to spend $50,000 to $500,000 in a digital platform. 12% buyers willing to spend 500,000 to 1 million US dollars worth of order in a digital platform. And 15% buyers, they are willing to spend beyond $1 million. So if all goes as per a proper plan, average order value should not be a concern to launch B2B e-commerce. Now, during the pandemic, we have seen a lot of quick shifts uh, from the conventional to the new digital platform by the B2B businesses. Now, the question is, will they stick to this digital platform or will they again go back to the conventional cycle? Now, the figures or the trend that I have is very promising and positive. It shows that 89% of such B2B businesses prefer to stick to digital platform, which they have adopted during the pandemic or at the moment. And many of them adopted it very quickly. So they might be able to empower their sales reps as well as B2B buyers within the digital journey, or they might be just launching a quick digital product catalog, just a product catalog digitally as a stopgap feature. But everyone of such, every businesses, 89% of them agrees that they will stick to and they will improve the digital platform to the next level. They will ensure a better digital experience to their B2B buyers. So now B2B business types are divided into three major areas, each of which are, when we say B2B, we think that these are very similar. They are similar. There are similarities, but there are some unique challenges and unique characteristics to each of these business: wholesale, distribution, and in D2C, manufacturing D2C model. So which I'm going to demystify in today's session. So in next slides, we will go into more deep analysis of each of these segments, and we will see some unique variations and unique requirements of these three segments in a separate way. So let's start this. So first is the common thing, B2B customers journey. How the B2B customers journey start. So first of all, the awareness. Obviously, the awareness can come from your digital marketing process. You will try to get as many visitors as possible who land at your landing page. It can be the homepage of your website. It can be, the front end, not the website. I would say nowadays when everyone is talking about the PWA. So now the front end, the user will come to the front end of your digital experience. And from that, the next step starts. The first step is obviously discovery. So you wish, if you are a B2B business, you wish that your product is quickly discoverable to these B2B buyers. Now we need to keep in mind that not all B2B buyers is our registered customers. There will be a lot of B2B buyers who are unregistered customers, and we'll go into that fact a little bit later in this session. So a lot of B2B buyers can be visitors an unregistered customer. So you need to have that kind of experience within your digital commerce platform, that they should get a streamlined customer registration process, which need to be automated and fluid, so that they need not to reach your sales reps or the customer service reps, because otherwise all your digital commerce experience goes in vain. So discovery means quickly finding out about the products. They should be able to search the categories. They should be able to do a quick search. You need to provide guided search. You need to plan the guided search for them if possible. So once they find out the product, they should be able to see all the product details, specifications, and everything. So next step is starting of the evaluation process. Now, when we say the evaluation process, the evaluation of the product, the evaluation of the organization, everything can go in parallel. So first of all, the product information, the characteristics, specifications, demo videos, it can be some PDF catalogs, anything which help the B2B buyer to uh, evaluate that product very quickly. You need to ensure about that. The B2B buyer should be able to clearly see the discounted pricing against bulk ordering process. If they are unregistered, there should be online payment option. If they are registered one, they should be able to see the contract pricing which is assigned to them. And there should be some customer specific product categories for the registered one. Product categories can be customer specific products. There can be discounts which is associated with a particular segment of distributors if you have a distribution channel. So there can be many ways through which you can ensure a better experience for the B2B buyer at the evaluation process. Now comes the ordering process. Now, obviously, ordering in B2B offers multiple decision makers. Often the trends say that there are two decision makers on an average against a B2B order. So the ordering process, there can be a requirement that the quotation and negotiation. So the B2B buyer will want the quotation and negotiation to be seamless and supported by the digital commerce platform. Uh, they can negotiate the quotation with the sales rep. Once the quotation is approved, it should be quickly converted to order. There is different requirement for the distribution who wish to have a quick order feature. So there can be multiple ways the ordering can be improved and can be represented in the digital experience segment for the B2B buyers. After the order comes the service. So obviously service involves in multiple ways. Obviously you wish to provide the similar kind of order updates, order processing updates, shipping updates, invoice information. You should ensure that B2B buyers will be able to get these easily in the platform. And there should be an easy return policy. So if there are faulty items when you are ordering in bulk, obviously there will be some items which are not working properly and faulty, or quality problem. So they wish to have return that item. They should be able to return that item very easily. Return cycle need to be easy. And these process should be automated and supported within the platform. Apart from that, service also involves warranty and after sales service. So those kind of processes, if applicable specifically for D2C segment, this need to be within the platform as well. So let's go in detail across different experiences of the B2B business scenarios of wholesale, manufacturing, D2C, as well as distribution. So I have few stats which I'd like to mention first, and then we will correlate that with the industries that I'm going to cover, the industry scenarios. So first of all, nowadays we are seeing a large number of B2B buyers uses internet to find products. 73% of such B2B buyers uses Google as a search engine to find products. 57% or more than half of B2B buyers prefer to take buying decisions prior talking to any sales rep. 76%, a majority, 3/4 of the B2B buyers are influenced by the site design and the aesthetics. B2B buyers say that they prefer to deal with companies. 50% of them say that they prefer to deal with suppliers who can provide personalized experiences. And the last two scenarios or the last two stats are very important. which differentiates B2B from B2C. So in B2C, a typical conversion rate is 3%, which is much lower. In B2B, 10% conversion rate. So that means 3 times more conversion you can get in a B2B digital commerce platform if you plan properly. And the average order value of a B2B order is 200% more than a B2C order. So that's these facts proves the statement that uh, B2B platform, B2B e-commerce is a strategic priority nowadays. So now let's move at different industry segments. So first of all, the wholesaling. So wholesalers, if they are new visitors to the portal, you need to have you need to enable the Google search or easy search option within the so that they can land at your website. They your website, your products should be easily discoverable, because as we have seen, a large segment of B2B buyers prefer digital platform Google search to easily search the products. So you need to have your digital platform have those capabilities. You need to have your unique category page on main URL so that you get good organic ranking. That's the first thing. Second thing is, we have seen that 76% of B2C B2B buyers are influenced by aesthetics and design. So you need to have responsive design. You need to plan progressive web apps if applicable, which can mimics the brand's aesthetics to the B2B buyer and influence them to buy at your B2B website, be your registered customer. The next thing is, you need to ensure automated customer sign up. Customer sign up cannot be manual anymore when you have a digital platform in place. So you need to have this streamlined. The next thing is the personalization. As we have seen, 50% or more B2B buyers say that they prefer to buy from suppliers who can give them personalized experience. So personalization related to pricing, personalization related to bulk orders, personalization in quotation and negotiation process, quick conversion to order. So these are the requirements of wholesale industry when you are automating that into a digital foundation. Now let's move to the distribution industry. So distribution industry, we all know distributors are often segmented. So you need to have account segmentation. Multiple contact persons of the distributor can log into your portal or platform. So you need to have access control rules and permissions for different kind of users of same company. Price lists are very important. So you need to assign price lists, or be able to assign price lists against the distributor segment, so that they can have different pricing when they log in. They will not be shocked, and this need to be accurate. So otherwise they will be shocked to see a wrong pricing when they log in. So price list creation and association and work, all these should work very smooth. Customer specific discount, customer specific discount on product, discount on category, any additional discounts, or this kind of personalization adds value to your distributors. Some distributors, there can be some products which are dedicated to some distributors. Uh, there can be some specific product categories for some specific distribution segment. So you need to ensure that your platform should be able to support such kind of personalization. Distributors often have a set credit term or a credit limit which they can use to place the order. So this feature need to be there. And obviously distributor, we have often seen, they do not wish to browse through the entire catalog. They have the product SKUs and they have the product price list. So they wish to have a quick order feature. So this need to be there. Apart from that, the approval of order, because you have a large distribution channel, you will be receiving a lot of orders. Now you need to ensure that a self-service driven order approval need to be there. That means someone from the distributor should be approving the orders placed by other employees of that distributor, and you only accept or you only get the approved orders. So in this way you can automate your digital experience for the distribution cycle. Now moving to the last segment, which is D2C. Now, direct to consumer, as we know, it's very new to the market, but it's gaining popularity. Today, it eliminates the barrier between the producer and consumer. And we are seeing a trend that US consumers, 1/3 of such US consumers plans to spend at least 40% of they need to have, they are saying that they will have 40% of their shopping experience from D2C companies in next 5 years. So D2C will gain popularity and producers can directly engage and therefore learn from their consumers. So they can take a better control of their brand, reputation, marketing, and sales tactics. But there are some unique things which need to be there. That means if the producer wishes to sell some unique variant of the product or subscription based pricing they wish to follow, they need to follow that within their direct to consumer model, so that it can avoid any conflict with their other B2B models. They need to have unique exchange policies which can differentiate it from the standard purchasing from a local distributor. So for the consumers, they can easily exchange some products, they can easily return some products, they can register their warranties, they can claim their warranties through service requests, and they can even place service requests after warranty. So all these features need to be there. There can be some unified customer experience with the within the D2C, which can be planned like buy from the website and pick up at the store. So different ways direct to consumer model can be remodeled or reshaped for a better user experience for the consumers. So now comes the blueprint, the digital blueprint. So when you are envisioning your B2B e-commerce, you need to envision your complete business process. You need to have this clear in your mind. You need to plan your digital commerce adoption according to your digital blueprint as per your strength. There are plenty of options: hosted SaaS based e-commerce or self-hosted open source e-commerce. So you should plan it according to your strength, but you need to have few factors in mind. So first of all, your digital foundation need to support the B2B specific customizations, because in B2B there can be a lot of customizations to support complex business processes. You need to choose, if you are following the self-hosted plan, self-hosted option, open source e-commerce, then you need to choose your hosting plan and infrastructure which is scalable enough to support the high and low seasons. You need to choose the digital foundation in such a way which has a vast partner ecosystem through which you can get a lot of extensions and themes which can expedite your go to market. And there need to be a vast community support in the behind, from where you can get external help from the other developers. You can easily hire resources as and when you need. So these are the key factors which you should have in mind when you are making a digital blueprint for your B2B e-commerce journey. So with all factors of B2B business scenarios in mind, we have a B2B commerce offering from InSync, which is InSync Commerce. It's an end-to-end B2B solution which comes integrated with a host of business applications. It is based on the time-tested architecture of Magento, on which your digital foundation can be built, operated, and grown. It comes with the strengths of both hosted e-commerce solutions and open source hosted solutions. So with InSync Commerce, you can design and deliver exceptional digital experience without having to worry about the infrastructure. On the other hand, you will not be restricted to any kind of customizations. So InSync Commerce, being the digital commerce platform, offers unparalleled advantages. Let's have a quick look. So it retains the advantage of SaaS solution where the infrastructure is managed by InSync. However, the customer will have full control of their application and data, and there are no restrictions on the customizations. And there are a lot of available extensions and themes which can expedite the go-to-market time. It has powerful features to support unique business scenarios of wholesale uh, distribution and manufacturing D2C. And InSync Commerce offers omni-channel support through the pre-built integrations with a large number of B2B applications. It offers managed services and support from a dedicated team of experts. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn to get regular B2B business process specific updates. Yeah,
Thanks,
Vatsal,
Subhajit.
over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Subhajit. We have a great session. We learned a lot of insights about B2B and then awesome experience building process. Now we have one great question coming from Aaron. He
Yep.
wants to learn about B2B payment options beside credit and debit cards, specifically in scenario called net 30 payments. Uh, do you think any other method is used when it comes to credit payments?
See, B2B business, B2B payment options can be different based on the industry that you are dealing in. So if you are dealing in with mostly registered customers, you can follow the credit limit option, because registered customers are given, they have a contract pricing, they have a relationship, so they are given a credit term, and they can use this credit term or credit limit when they are placing the order. And when the credit limit is reached, then the remaining amount they can pay online through credit card or debit card. So a variation of online payment as well as credit term or credit limit is an ideal approach in B2B payment scenarios. But it all depends on the situation, how the business process require, and according to that we need to plan.
Yeah, I have also seen an option called partial payment. So as in when you are reaching to the credit limit,
Yeah.
you transfer that amount. So your credit limit is again adjusted and you can order again.
Yeah,
So
so the
that is, I think, a big,
credit limit mostly, once it is reached, and then it need to be cleared, and then again a fresh credit limit is issued by the admin.
correct. And in the countries like US, you can scan the check and put it. I think the scan check is also cleared by the bank. So I think that can be a lot many options. Uh, and then
Yeah,
thank you, Subhajit.
purchase order is also an option in many scenarios. Rather than paying online, so in checkout, the B2B buyer can upload their purchase order, a proper legal document, and can place the order. So once it's a legal document, a legal purchase order, then everything becomes transparent, and the business can move forward in that way also.
That's great. I think Aaron got all a varied option as an answer, and I think it will be an answer to many people. Thank you, Subhajit. It was great having you, and stay connected.
Sure. Thanks everyone, and have a nice day and enjoy the event.